It's time now for the area volleyball game of the week here on Jammin' Country FM 103. Let's now send it up to the Madison Discount Liquor broadcast booth for your F&M pregame show.
And a good evening and welcome to Baltic High School. It's Region 3A volleyball on Jammin' Country FM 103 and online at amazingmadison.com. It's the McCook Central Montrose and Baltic coming your way here tonight. Mac Rosa and Tom Farrell with you as the winner of this match moves on into the SODAC 16. Baltic, the number 2 seed against the number 3 seed, McCook Central Montrose Fighting Cougars. After, Tom, they defeated the Madison Bulldogs on Tuesday night in just an outstanding volleyball match to watch.
Certainly was, Matt. And, it was one of those matches that it was too bad that there had to be a loser. But it turned out that McCook Central in the end came and won. And, those sets were as close as they possibly could be. There were only 2 of those that went 3 points. Everything else was the minimum 2. And even that deciding set went 16-14. So, it'll be interesting to see. Baltic advances with 3-set win over Tri-Valley. And I was asking the old coach on the way home on Tuesday night, is it better to have played the 5? Will that be a factor? And, it depends upon probably how much they've played those 5 sets, whether there could be a fatigue factor or not. But, this time of year, you could play 5 3 days in a row. So
right, that's exactly right.
The opportunity to do that is only going to help them. But that was a tremendous match, and these 2 teams match up as close as you can see across the state. The seed points, which pretty much are an indicator of strength, separates these teams as 0.008 points. And in many cases it's a tenth of a point, or like with Madison and McCook Central, there was almost a total 2-point spread. So these 2 should match up, even though Baltic did lose to them earlier in the season in a match that was over at McCook Central Montrose. So we'll have to see. And that one only did go 3 sets.
And that was something we talked about, too, is McCook Central Montrose's record at home this season. They were a very good volleyball team at home, picked up that home win in what was their last home contest of the year. Teams playing the high seeds, their final home matches of the year tonight throughout the region, throughout the state, as everybody gets reseeded after that and then we play neutral sites for the SODAC 16. But we are underway, by the way, in volleyball matches going on not only in this area but across the state. Checked in a little bit ago. Chester had already put up a big lead in their region semifinal match tonight and trying to move on into the SODAC 16. But there's a lot of these semifinal matchups in the area with some very good teams trying to advance on here into the next round of playoffs.
Very definitely, and of course, season started over on Tuesday, 0-0. Each of these teams tonight that are playing are 1-0. Opportunity then to play next Tuesday with that chance to move on to the state tournament, which this year is going to be East River down at the Denny Sanford Premier Center, November 17, 18, and 19. And that, if you've never had a chance to see 3 courts of volleyball going on simultaneously, even if you're not a volleyball fan, I really encourage you to go take in a session of that, because there's always something going on with those 3 courts.
Yeah, I had never, experienced it before until a few years ago when they did it in Rapid City. And I remember thinking, well, this is the way state tournaments should be. This is outstanding. There was almost always one really good match going on. It should be a really fun time in another couple of weeks at the Pentagons the Premier Center,
right
in Sioux Falls. SODAC 16 rounds will be coming up early next week on Tuesday, and then we've got state football championships that'll be starting a week from tonight the first state football championships. There'll be games going on at the Dome next week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with the 7 classes of football. So we're to that point in the year. We're rolling along quickly here, and looking forward to, like we said, a good match tonight. Some of the other ones going on, Tom, I don't know, we'll take a minute here. Let's run down some of those other region matchups, the semifinals in our area.
All right, let's take a look. First of all, in Region 3A, which is what these teams are a part of, on the other end of the bracket, it's Sioux Falls Christian, and they're going against Garrettson. Garrettson was the number 5 seed, and they advanced by virtue of a win over number 4 seed Del Rapids. That one's getting underway at the same time we are at Sioux Falls Christian. And then if you look in some of the others, Region 2A, Elkton Lake Benton is hosting, and they're taking on number 5 Sioux Valley. And then also in that region is Hamlin. They're number 2 in there, and they're taking on Flandreau. Some other Dakota 12 teams, Region 4A, Dakota Valley, number 1 seed in that region, is basically hosting T area. And then also Canton, the number 2 seed, going against an Elk Point Jefferson. And that one could be a really good match, as both those teams have had pretty good seasons. Looking around, Matt already talked about the Chester, and that's a Del Rapids St. Mary's. And then coming up after that, Coleman Egan goes against Ethan for Region 4B. And then around in Region 2B, Oldham Ramona Rutland, the number 4 seed, is playing number 1 seed, Wolsey Wessington. And then number 2 Castlewood goes against number 3 Arlington. So a lot of Interlakes area teams still in the hunt for that SODAC 16 berth.
Chester area, because they did start because they're playing those 2 games in McCook Central School in Salem. Chester's up 2-0 in sets on Del St. Mary and leading the third set 11-9. So trying to close out a 3-set win there are the Chester area Flyers and try to advance their way into the SODAC 16. We've got more to talk about here coming up in our F&M Co-op Oil pregame show. We can talk a little more in depth about these 2 squads. I think as we were talking off air, we tend to believe this might be the best matchup, at least on paper. It looks to be the best matchup of any of the semifinals going on in the state tonight. So we'll be back here with more of this coming up in our pregame show. First, to remind you that the Law on the Court is brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Division of Consumer Protection. To remind players and coaches and fans to show officials the proper support and respect throughout the postseason. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout, and we will be back with more of your F&M Co-op Oil pregame show coming up after this 3-minute break on KJAM.
At Cenex, we're more than your gas station. We're your neighbor. We've got soup when you're under the weather and treats when you're over the moon. We've got fuel when you've got places to go. And most of all, we've got a big heart when it comes to supporting this community, because it's our community too.
F&M Co-op Oil is a proud supporter of our community activities. For service for your vehicle, fuel, propane, and premium Cenex lubricants, see the professionals at F&M Co-op Oil. Plus, they're your tire headquarters, from the smallest cars to the biggest tractors. F&M Co-op Oil, West Highway 34 in Madison.
Kinsley Funeral Home is family-owned for nearly 80 years, serving the Madison, Salem, Hartford, and surrounding areas. Offering funeral, cremation, and traditional services, Andy and Laura of Kinsley Funeral Home, Hartford Chapel in Hartford, Kinsley Funeral Home in Salem, and Kinsley Funeral Home in Madison are always there to help you with any planning or questions you may have. Without cost or obligation, Andy and Laura can provide facts about pre-need funeral planning. Kinsley Funeral Home in Madison, Salem, and Hartford.
Need a little help cleaning up the mess no matter what your vehicle has run into or what has run into you? Salem Body Shop can fix you up again good as new. They do the job from start to finish, and that includes handling the insurance work for you. Salem Body Shop will return your vehicle back to its pre-damaged condition. Salem Body Shop, they'll help you look like new. Salem Body Shop, 425-2166. Your dreams are too big to fail. First Dakota National Bank in Salem stands ready to help hold you accountable for your dreams. If the quality of your future depends on the quality of support provided by your bank, call First Dakota today. They know passion, they know hard work, and they want to know you. Let First Dakota inspire you to account for your dreams. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back here to Dakota's Best, Jammin' Country FM 103 as McCook Central Montrose and Baltic ready to square off in this Region 3A semifinals. McCook Central, as we said, picked up that 5-set win over the Madison Bulldogs on Tuesday. Tom, they've got a lot of offensive firepower to distribute around. They've got a lot of girls that can play really well at the front of the net.
Right, and I think that was probably one of the key things that became the demise of the Bulldogs, was that the Fighting Cougars had 4 hitters that really dominated their attack, and that include Brandy Pauls, Michaela McCormick, Kayla Vanderwood, and Taya McGregor. And, they had the stats up on the scoreboard, and they were evenly distributed between those 4 hitters. And so I expect that same thing will occur tonight on there. And it's interesting, McCook Central, if you examine their schedule, 3 of their 7 losses in the year came at the Parkston tournament against some, let's say Northwestern, Warner, and Wagner.
Yeah, that'll do it to you.
So, and then the other losses were Chester area twice, and then Pullman Egan. So they certainly have had a very successful season, and they're senior dominated. And I think that makes it a really good thing. If you look at the Baltic Bulldogs, they have 3 seniors also, but we'll see how all of those go as the starters get rolling.
As we said, McCook Central Montrose hasn't lost since back on the 27th of September. Baltic, they faced Sioux Falls Christian in the Region 3A semifinals before losing in that one last year. They're 19-5 overall. Picked up a 3-set win over Tri-Valley on Tuesday, 25-15, 25-16, and 25-18. And again, they are trying to avenge a 3-set loss to McCook Central Montrose back on the 3rd of October. We've got National Anthem coming up here. Actually, it looks like we're going to take a look first at our starting lineups before we get to that. So if they're doing that here, Tom, why don't we go ahead and try to take a look at the starters, starting with McCook Central Montrose.
We'll go ahead and go with them. Number 4, Brandy Paul, senior, 5'8". Their libero will be number 7, their setter will be Maddie Lauk coming in off the bench. Number 14, Brianna Even, a senior setter. She's 5'9". Number 15, Michaela McCormick, senior outside hitter, 5'9". Taya McGregor, number 17, senior middle hitter, 6'2". And Auburn Schmidt, a senior outside hitter, 5'8". Their head coach is Kim Vanderwoody, and Nicole Buys and Austin Herbold are the assistants. If we take a look for the Lady Bulldogs, their senior, number 2, Emma Van Riggenmorter, is a middle hitter, 5'11". Danica Weitzel, a sophomore outside hitter, wearing number 3. Alexis Dobbins, number 4, a junior middle hitter, right side hitter, 5'11". Their libero is Madison Kennedy, 5'3", and number 11, a junior, their setter, 5'7", Bailey Tivdahl. Head coach is Matt Kontz, assisted by Lynette Coker and Marissa Whipple. Libero for them is, number 7, Madison Kennedy. The Bulldogs are in their blue and gold with black shorts, and McCook Central in green. We'll step aside now for 2 minutes.
Yep, we'll take a little 2-minute break. National Anthem coming up. We'll be back with your first serve in 2 minutes on KJAM.
There's nothing like watching the sun rise over your fields, the smell of hope in the air. At Mustang Seeds, we're ready to help you plan for the next planting season and committed to boosting your yields and increasing your profitability.
with quality seed genetics customized to your farm ground and your way of farming. Lots of preseason cash discounts, rewards, and competitive pricing by contacting your local Mustang DSM.
National anthem here in Baltic as we are ready to go. Region 3A semifinals. Winner moves on to the next round of the SODAC 16 and is just a game away from a berth in the Class A state volleyball tournament. You got to see how things break down, but we were doing a little math looking ahead, and it seems very possible that the winner of this Region 3A semifinal gets the winner of the other Region 3A semifinal if we assume that is Sioux Falls Christian. But a lot of volleyball to be played. Anything can happen in the high school playoffs. And McCook Central Montrose subbing their libero in here as we are just about ready to get things underway. Mac Rose, Tom Farrell with you here from the MDL broadcast booth. MCM is going to serve first, Tom.
All right, and back with that first serve. Here we go. Serve is across in there by Even, set and tapped over nicely in there by Witzel. Quickly brought back by the Fighting Cougars. Right side tipped up, and nice defensive plays over eventually by the libero for the Fighting Cougars. Blocked at the net was the hit in there by Witzel, and blocked out of bounds was the hit by the Bulldogs. So the Baltic Bulldogs pick up point number 1, lead this first set 1-0, and have the serve on the side out. Back with the serve is Bailey Tevedal into the middle and blocked in there by Emma Van Egermorter, the tallest lady on the Baltic Bulldogs. 5'11", picks up the block, giving the Bulldogs a 2-0 lead. Serve is over, ball brought up, set, tapped over from the backcourt in there by McCormick. Ball at the middle and saved and taken over eventually in there by Tevedal. Taken and down off of that right side was Alban Schmidt, the senior 5'8" outside hitter on the kill. 2-1 is the score. And back with the serve, setting up on the far side is McCormick. Ball is service ace. Bulldogs difficult time handling that serve. So we're tied at 2s. McCormick continuing from the service line. We played a 25 points is a set. Ball up, set in there by number 11, Tivdal. Shoots set over in there by Peyton Kroll. Free ball back over that time by Even for the Fighting Cougars. Over from the left side by Weitzel. And down off that left side, picking up the kill, number 4, Brandy Pulse. So the Fighting Cougars up 3-2 now. And continuing to serve is Michaela McCormick. Her serve passed up, set in there by the Bulldogs and down. I'm not sure whether Van Rigamorter was supposed to get that or not, but she did, and shoved by the rest of her teammates for that kill. So we're knotted at 3 the second time. Here comes the serve by Danica Weitzel. Hard serve, eventually free balled over by the libero. Set to the outside, and a net violation plus the kill goes down for the Bulldogs. They now lead set number 1, 4-3, having the serve. Couple of bounces, Here with the serve is Weitzel. It's up. Brought in there by Krantz, the libero. Back onto the Baltic side. Shoots that over in there by Kroll. And hit hard. Block double was Van Regenmorter and Kroll, but it goes out of bounds off the block. So that'll be a Fighting Cougars point. 4 apiece. Third tie in this set number 1. Taya McGregor's serve is over and kept in play well by the Bulldogs. Here we go. Set in there by Even. Shoots that over. Ball passed up Witzel. Set to the middle and down Van Regenmorter and back over Fighting Cougars. They set left side this time. Kept in play off of the block. Hit again, this time long by Kroll. Left side. Killed by Pulse. We saw her come through more down the line on Tuesday. Here she's on the diagonal, so 4-5 advantage.
She got the final kill of that match that sent it to put it away for MCM last Tuesday.
So it's Taya McGregor with the serve, rips the top of the net, bounces over, and comes down. So 4-6, McCook Central now on top. Long serve, and ball goes out on the McGregor serve. 5-6, and back serving now is Emma Van Regenmorter. That'll take her out of the front row. We'll see how the Bulldogs do with her in the back row. And Regenmorter's serve goes long, so the teams switch. Service airs. We're at 5-7. Set number 1. In now is Abby Wagner, and also coming in is Maddie Lauk. She will be setting and playing the back row for the Fighting Cougars. Serve across, passed up, set in there by Tevdal, tapped over, set back up in the front court, and off of the right side, it's Wagner, picks up the kill, and they are up now, Fighting Cougars, 8-5. Back with the serve again. This is Lauk, the sophomore on the team. Ball is up, set into the middle. Hit hard, but well played by Krantz, the libero. Libero brings it up, left side. Shoots set down along there by Kroll. Fighting Cougars bring it across. Ball up, out of the backcourt, hit by Wetzel. Set by Krantz. Taken over, covered well by the Bulldogs. They attack on the right side, down in there by Fredrickson. And back over. Ball up, set out of the backcourt. Hit down hard in there. That's Kroll. Out of the middle, hit, dug up. And nice shot in there out of the middle. That was their middle hitter. Must have been Wagner picking that one up. So 5-9. McCook Central starting to build a lead. Upset into the middle. Hit hard. Left side. Dobbins says that's enough points. So point side out. Bulldogs pick that up 9-6. And back serving is number 6, J.C. Wendland. She's a senior. Looks like she also plays that setter position for the Bulldogs. Serve in, just catches the back corner. Service ace. So that's a 9-7 advantage. Fighting Cougars still ahead in this set number 1. Next serve goes long. Service air. So 10-7. Fighting Cougars up. And back with the serve now is Brandy Pulse. Her serve comes over, up. Set this time in there by Wendland. Taken over. Set left side and brought over. Set left side again. This is a cross in there by Kroll. McCook Central goes just long on that hit. The hit was by McCormick, and that's a Baltic point. So 10-8, MCM up. Baltic, however, has the serve off the side out. Serve into the net by Kroll. 2 consecutive service errors for the Bulldogs. Certainly something Coach Kontz does not want to see.
Yeah, they battled really well to get that serve, and then twice in a row to have those errors.
Serve comes across, passed up by the libero, left side, taken over in there by Wetzel. And a one-handed save by Wetzel keeps it in play. Ball up at the net.
Oh,
Trying to take the overpass and bring it down was McGregor. And she swings and misses for a Baltic point, 9-11. The libero now, Madison Kennedy, back to serve. Kennedy's serve, brings it across, set outside, tap, covered well by the Bulldogs. They set to that left side, double block set up in there by Wagner and Schmidt, and it goes out of bounds. So Baltic back to within 1 in this set number 1, 10-11, Fighting Cougars lead. Serve, shoot set across in there by McGregor. Set left side, taken deep to the backcourt, but too deep was Danica Wetzel, and that's a point for the Fighting Cougars. So 12-10. Serving now is Brianna Even, the senior setter. Setters rotating out, coming out of the back row, which gives those Fighting Cougars 3 hitters up front. Ball comes across, set to the middle, taken over quickly by Van Riggenmorter. Blocked partially. Bulldogs keep it in play. They come to the backside, tipped over in there by Tivdahl. Set back up, back into the backcourt, brought up by the libero Krantz. Back down, nice hit out of that left side. Bulldogs try to keep it in play, but the point eventually on that diagonal hit goes to the Fighting Cougars. They're up now 13-10. Serve is across, passed up. Back set into there. Partially blocked, handled well by the Cougars. Block at the middle. Back left side. And ball in play. Back into the backcourt. Quick dump set across by Even. Down by number Riggenmorter. Down and again partially blocked. What a rally. Keeping it in play over by the Bulldogs. Out of the backcourt. That's Pulse's hit. Van Riggenmorter takes it over. Out to the middle now and down. Hit in there by McGregor. Left side and down along the line. That's Tivdahl picking up the kill. So 13-11 substitution. Number 14, Maya Fredrickson in. A sophomore. Serving is Bailey Tivdahl. Outside and hit, but well played defensively by Wetzel. And Wetzel gets the hit, the kill off the block of McGregor and Schmidt. And the Bulldogs just keep hanging around. McCook Central Montrose pulls out and then they come back. Serve was good. And miss hit out of the middle by McGregor, and we're tied at 13. The 4th time we've tied. Last time we were tied was at 4 apiece. Serve across by Tivdahl. Ball up out of the backcourt by Kranz. Set and down out of the middle, Van Riggenmorter. So 14 for the Bulldogs, 13 for the Fighting Cougars. Timeout taken by Coach Kim Vanderwoody. We'll take a 30-second timeout on Jammin' Country 103. Back in 30.
There's nothing like watching the sun rise over your fields, the smell of hope in the air. At Mustang Seeds, we're ready to help you plan for the next planting season and committed to boosting your yields and increasing your profitability with quality seed genetics customized to your farm ground and your way of farming. Lock in preseason cash discounts, rewards, and competitive pricing by contacting your local Mustang DSM or dealer. Mustang Seeds, plant with pride.
And welcome back to the Baltic High School Gym. You're on Jammin' Country 103.1 and AmazingMadison.com. This is Region 3A semifinal volleyball. Winner advancing next Tuesday night to the Sodak 16 somewhere against someone.
So that's what we know.
We are 14-13, set number one, serve across by the Bulldogs. Set taken back quickly by the Fighting Cougars. And touch. And another kill in there by Danica Witzel, the left side hitter. So the timeout did not change the momentum. Back serving is Bailey Tivdahl for the Bulldogs. Her serve just catches the back corner. And what was a 3-point lead for the Fighting Cougars has now changed over with momentum on the Bulldog side, 16-13. And just like that, it's a service error. So 16-14. Back serving is Michaela McCormick, one of the seniors. Serve comes across, passed up, set into the middle for Van Rigemorter, brings it across, back up, pass, and out of the left side, Wetzel. Here come the Fighting Cougars, and hit goes long in there. That was Schmidt. So 17-14. Back with the serve, Danica Witzel. One of the things I'm noticing, Matt, is from Tuesday night, those Fighting Cougars use a lot more court to serve, and they're really crunch on their serves. So here comes the point. That was, again, out of that left side. We saw that all Tuesday night. Brandy Pauls picking up the kill. 17-15. Fighting Cougars, you can see they're flushed against the wall.
She can't go. She's got an extra 5 feet here.
So that's McGregor with the serve. Onto the back set, taken over in there, Van Rigemorter. Set up. Nice shot across that time. That's Almond Schmidt, senior 5'8", outside hitter. Nice hit. Takes it down for the Fighting Cougars point. McGregor next serve, brings it across, up. Set, left side, taken down in there by Peyton Kroll. She's a sophomore outside hitter, really hits the ball hard. So 18-16, Baltic up. That's Emma Van Rigemorter, senior 5'11" middle hitter with the serve. Passed up, set by Even. Shoot set across in there by Pulse. Set, blocked at the net, and back up. Wow. Peyton Kroll, the sophomore, very alertly sees that ball coming down and blocks it back down. So Van Rigemorter, 19-16, Bulldog advantage. Serve comes across, passed up, and nice save in there by Even out of the backcourt. Set over, here come the Fighting Cougars. They set left side to Pauls, and a net violation. No, 4 hits was the call. So 20 for the Bulldogs, 16 for the Fighting Cougars. And back with the serve is Van Rigemorter. Brought up, set in there by Even, out of the middle. Great hit in there by Kayla Vanderwoody, the junior. Picks up the kill, so it's 20 for the Bulldogs of Baltic, 17 for the Fighting Cougars. Substitution in now, Maddie Lauk, sophomore setter. She's back against the wall and getting ready for her serve. Gets the signal, toss, hit, brought up. Set in there by Tivdahl, taken over by the Bulldogs. Set in the middle, and wide was the hit in there by Vanderwoody. So 21-17. Back now with the serve on the side out are the Bulldogs. Nice hard serve taken over in there by Wendland. Wendland's the setter. She sets to the middle, taken over by Dobbins. Back up. Set, left side, and kill in there off of that nice set and hit. So 22-17.
Looks like a couple of MCM players kind of bailed out on that one, like they had an opportunity, and MCM's going to take a timeout now.
I'd venture to say that Coach Vanderwoody says we're going to talk about that. So let's take a 30-second break on Jammin' Country. Back in 30.
Trust your farming operation with the locally owned and operated Farmers Ag Center of Madison. With their state-of-the-art facility, Farmers Ag Center offers trusted advice when it comes to fertilizer, seed, and crop protection products. Area producers can expect accurate and timely advice, including efficient delivery and application of products during all seasons. Locally owned and operated Farmers Ag Center of Madison. The leaders in the field, the leaders in customer service, proud to serve area farmers and proud to support area communities.
And welcome back to Baltic. And the Baltic student section is saying they are fired up as their Bulldogs lead this first set 22-17. But as we saw on Tuesday night, you certainly can't count out the Fighting Cougars, Matt.
No, certainly not, and not with, as close as this entire first set has been, that even if Baltic picks up the win here, we might be in store for a lot of volleyball tonight.
Next serve goes into the net. It's one of the things you hope for. J.C. Wendland puts it in, and so 22-18. Cougars have the serve, and that's Pulse's serve brought across. Wendland sets, and right there to block that. Double block set up by the Cougars. Van Woody and McCormick. 22-19. Next serve by Pulse comes deep into the backcourt. Wendland sets it up and mishit by the Baltic Bulldogs. And all of a sudden, it's 22-20. Timeout taken by Coach Matt Kantz. So again, we'll step aside for 30 on Jammin' Country 103.
Southeastern Electric Cooperative is owned by those they serve and are proud supporters of Fighting Cougars athletics. As a member-owned cooperative, Southeastern Electric Cooperative is dedicated to providing its member owners with the most reliable electricity at the lowest possible price. Southeastern Electric Cooperative Incorporated, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, is member-focused and member-driven. Learn more about Southeastern Electric Cooperative by visiting southeasternelectric.com.
And welcome back to Baltic High School Region 3A semifinals. We're in set number one. Bulldogs of Baltic lead 22-20. Brandy Pulse with the serve. Brought up. Wendland sets to the left side and back. And a nice save by Tivdal after the double block by the Fighting Cougars. Ball is up. Set to the Bulldog side. Fighting Cougars bring it up and set taken over. Out of the middle there was Vanderwoody, and the point eventually comes to the Fighting Cougars. 21-22. Served by Pulse, comes across, up, set left side, and ball was touched. So the point comes to the Bulldogs, 23-21. And the Bulldogs have the serve. Back with the serve is Peyton Kroll. Set to the backside, taken over in there by Vanderwoody. Little shoot set, kept in play. Free balled over by Wagner for the Cougars. Cougars have the ball. They're up out of the backcourt. That's Pulse with a shoot set. Bulldogs left side, and we have an illegal hit. Double hit called. So 23 for the Bulldogs of Baltic, 22 for the Fighting Cougars, and their libero, Abry Krantz, back with the serve. Krantz's serve is up. Taken, miss hit. And we've got a tie at 23-23. What looked like the momentum was going to carry the Bulldogs has brought the Fighting Cougars back in tied at 23. Krantz's serve, little shoot set across in there, and brought on out of that left side. Ball rolls across the ribbon. Credit the kill with Michaela McCormick. And it's 23 for the Baltic Bulldogs, 24 for the Fighting Cougars, and one more timeout. So we'll step aside for 30. Back in 30.
At Salem Lumber, you'll find a complete line of building materials. If you're looking for items for custom homes, pole barns, cabinets, or floor coverings, make the stop at Salem Lumber. And for the winter months, Salem Lumber also carries heat and glow fireplaces. So stop into Salem Lumber today or contact Brad Krantz at 605-425-2221 or toll free 800-700-2221. Salem Lumber, a proud sponsor of McCook Central Montrose Athletics.
And welcome back to the Baltic Gym. We're in set number 124 for the visiting Fighting Cougars of Montrose and McCook Central. 23 for the Baltic Bulldogs. And Abry Krantz's serve goes long. So volleyball overtime.
Twice we've seen coaches in this set take a timeout and get the service error they needed. So here we go, square at 24.
And it's the libero back with the serve. Kennedy, ball up, set to the middle, and that's going to be 4 hits as Tam McGregor's
They
hit.
stopped it. Nobody heard the whistle.
I saw the hand go up.
The hand went up. Nobody heard the whistle.
A full house tonight in Baltic.
Yeah, definitely.
25-24 Bulldogs. Madison at Kennedy at the service line. They set left side, taken over by McCormick. Free ball, back up and down. Emma Van Regenmorter picks up the overpass, drops it back down onto the Fighting Cougars court. And the Baltic Bulldogs, the number 2 seed, pick up set number 1 by a 26-24 score. We knew it was going to be close, Matt.
Yeah, we did. We said it. We said it in the pregame show. We said it on the drive. Down here, we thought this had a shot to be probably the best matchup in the state in this semifinal round. And boy, did that first set absolutely live up to the billing. And what a great job by Baltic of coming back in that. Really, both teams came back. I mean, Baltic down 3, then they go up 3. MCM comes back. MCM had a couple of chances to pick up a decisive point there and try to take that first set, but Baltic battles back and gets the victory here. So phenomenally played set by both teams. We'll catch our breath because we got set number 2 coming up. Baltic up with a 1-0 lead. We'll take a 1-minute timeout, and we're back with set number 2 in 1 minute on Jammin' Country 103.
Wilbur Ellis is a leading provider of innovative solutions in seed technology, as well as plant protection and nutrition. Wilbur Ellis, located in Chester, South Dakota, providing Asgrow and DeKalb brands, various field applications, and local plot data, can provide you with expert advice for your acres. Grow smart and reduce loss. Let Wilbur Ellis address your challenges. Contact your Wilbur Ellis representative at 489-2171. At Wilbur Ellis, they never stop looking ahead. The Security State Bank in Montrose offers complete banking and insurance services that you'd expect from a larger bank, but with the friendliness that you can only get from a small town bank. The friendly faces at Security State Bank are there to serve your complete banking needs, whether it's checking or savings, insurance, or just solid financial advice. The staff at Security State Bank in Montrose want to wish the McCook Central Montrose Fighting Cougars the best of luck this season. The Security State Bank in Montrose, member FDIC.
And we welcome you back here to Baltic High School as Baltic Bulldogs with a 1-0 lead over McCook Central Montrose and the Fighting Cougars. A back and forth first set. It ends in a 26-24 win for Baltic in that first set as they get ready to roll on in here to the second. You know, Tom, MCM's got to be used to this after getting 5 sets just like that against Madison on Tuesday. For Baltic, you know, they could have been forgiven for needing a minute to catch up to the intensity, but boy, it seems like both teams have been having like that absolute just end of season intensity from the very first serve here tonight.
Very definitely. Well, it's what you hope you get to in these semifinal matches, especially because these really become the finals out of the regions.
Right. So we're ready to go. Baltic will have the serve. Dobbins serving it away for the Bulldogs here to start set number 2, and she'll pick up an ace as it went off the hands of Brandy Paulson into the stands. And so the first point of set number 2 goes to Baltic. Dobbins to serve again. Sets up straight down the middle. Angles the serve over to the right. A little high off the hands of Schmidt, and now free balled over by MCM. Dobbins comes in to play it up to the front of the net, and now the hit down by Van Regenmorter. McCook Central Montrose, rather, is there. And the hit from the outside will be a kill for Michaela McCormick. And it ties up our set number 2 here at 1 apiece.
Imagine a tie, Matt.
Yeah, what are the odds? Brianna Even will go back to serve for the Fighting Cougars. Serve away. Passed up front, set back to a big hit by Tependal, and she hits it in the back corner, puts it right on the line, and the point for Baltic here as they have a 2-1 lead. And back to serve. This is Tependal after that serve. Played up by MCM, hit across by Schmidt. Bulldogs are there, set to the outside for Wetzel. Wetzel's hit blocked back, but she stays with it. Now from the backcourt, ball hit away by Kroll. MCM set straight down the middle, a big hit by McGregor, and she'll get the kill. That's Taya McGregor tying things up at 2 apiece here, as Michaela McCormick now goes back to serve for McCook Central Montrose. McCormick serve. Played up, set, middle, Van Regenmorter got it across, run down by Krantz, the libero, and passed over. Set back for Van Regenmorter, blocked back this time. It was blocked by McGregor for MCM, and McCook Central Montrose takes a 1-point lead here in the second set, 3-2, as McCormick will serve again. Short serve, but played up and across Tependal and hit over by Van Regenmorter. Tipped up by MCM. They'll save it, and a shoot set over by Schmidt. Set back Van Regenmorter again. Tips it across. Nearly an overpass, and just a little bit long. That one hit into the far corner by MCM. Right in front of the official. Had a great look at it. He says that's just long. And a side out to the Bulldogs here as we are tied at 3. Served by Baltic. Just barely dug out, and we're going to get a net violation on McCook Central Montrose. Even and the setter was backing up. It looked like she just clipped that net. And it'll be Witzel now back to serve for the Bulldogs again here, up by a point at 4-3. Her serve is across. Krantz plays it up outside for Pulse. Punches it over. Set to the outside. Here's the hit from the sophomore in Kroll. Played back and a shoot set over by MCM. Baltic to the far side. Hit across. Block right back down. Great save, Tependal. And here comes Kroll's hit over. McCook Central for the middle. Big knock down for the kill by McGregor. Diving attempt by the libero Kennedy that time. Got a piece of it, but it went into the net. And so the point to McCook Central Montrose. Another tie here. 1, 2, 3, and 4 we've been tied at in this set. Serve over by McGregor. Played to the front for Kroll. Big hit, but right there was McGregor to dig it out. Pulse hits it across and down in front of the outstretched arms of Wetzel for the kill. And McCook Central Montrose will take a 1-point lead here at 5-4. Serve coming from McGregor. Serve is across, dug out by Kennedy. Back set, Van Regenmorter, but it's blocked down. It was Pulse at the front of the net along with Vanderwoody.
Yep.
And the point for MCM. And somebody takes a 2-point lead for the first time here in the set at 6-4.
And 3's been the largest.
That's right. McGregor
Nope,
Will
4.
Silk. We had a 4-point lead in that first set. That was the largest for either team here so far tonight. Here's Kroll's hit across, tipped to the net, headed out of bounds, but MCM will save it and shoots it across by Schmidt. And trying to dump it across was Teveldal there on the second hit, but she put it into the net. And another point for McCook Central Montrose. They've opened up a 7-4 lead here in set number 2. McGregor, the senior middle hitter at 6'2", will serve again. Played up and hit across by Kroll. Trying to go deep into the back row that time, but it's hit up. And then a little miscommunication. Schmidt looked like she had it. Even came in from behind on her. They kind of collided, and she hit it into the net. And Baltic will get the point and stop that McCook Central Montrose run. It's 7-5 MCM. And Baltic's libero Madison Kennedy is back on to serve. Kennedy, the senior, serve is across. Outside for Pulse. Tipped at the net just in front of Kennedy and down for another Pulse kill. And back to a 3-point lead again for the Fighting Cougars here at 8-5. As Abby Wagner back in for McCook Central Montrose, Maddie Lauk is back to serve. Lauk waits and serves. Hit up and hard hit by Kroll, but well out. And a point again for McCook Central Montrose as they now have a 4-point lead, 9-5 here in the second set. And Baltic's not going to waste time. They are going to take a timeout. 9-5 MCM lead set number 2. Timeout on the floor, so we'll pause as well. We'll be back after a 30-second break on Jammin' Country FM 103.
The Montrose Body Shop understands how much you love your truck. They specialize in a full line of truck accessories and spray and bed liners. They carry Nerf bars, running boards, stainless steel rocker trim, and wheel trim, and much more. They also specialize in auto body repair and refinishing, plus glass replacement and repair of all makes and models. Call Donnie at the Montrose Body Shop at 363-5098 for more details on accessorizing your vehicle. The Montrose Body Shop, proud to support area athletics.
Welcome back to Baltic. McCook Central Montrose with a 9-5 lead on the Farmers Ag Center scoreboard after Baltic won the first set. MCM trying to come back and tie things up with a set apiece here. Baltic breaks the timeout. Maddie Lauk back to serve again for the Fighting Cougars. And the serve following the timeout is a good one. That was a trouble for both teams in that first set. Hit across and long. Baltic wanted a touch, no call. And so another point for the Fighting Cougars, who open up a 5-point lead now at 10-5. Lauk serves again. Angles it across court over to the right. Played up front, big hit by Kroll. Dug out, overpass across. Oh, and then a little miscommunication by Baltic. Free ball hit over. Krantz is there for MCM down the middle from Vanderwoody, and it's down. And I don't think she got a full hit on that one, but she placed it well. And Vanderwoody with the kill, and the lead now 6 for the Fighting Cougars at 11-5. Lauk serving again for the MCM. Serve across, just barely dug out. And now overhand free ball is across. MCM to the outside. Here's Pulse with it. Pulse tries the line, but hit it long. And that'll stop the Fighting Cougar run. Point to Baltic. And an 11-6 Fighting Cougar lead. Baltic subs. And J.C. Wendland, 5'2" senior, into serve and serves it long. And right back to the Fighting Cougars now. They've got Baltic doubled up 12-6. Serve will come from Brandy Pulse. She drops into the back to serve. Set for Kroll, and the hit is long. Wide, I should say, over to that left side.
And ran across the ribbon and just kept running.
And ran right across the bar that's in front of us, so I couldn't see it. Set now following the MCM serve. The hit goes wide by Teveldal. And it's now a 14-6 lead for the Fighting Cougars.
On forced errors, hurting the Bulldogs right now.
Pulse serves. Passed up cleanly. Set outside. Big hit from Dobbins across. Back set for the Fighting Cougars. We're going to get a double hit. They were trying to set that for Vanderwoody. But double hit called, and it'll be a point for Baltic. They'll get the side out. As Kroll back to serve here, down 14-7. Krantz plays the serve, and then comes in, hits it across. Nice dig out by Kennedy. Shoot set is blocked right back down. Wetzel tried a shoot set with Wagner and Vanderwoody at the front of the net, and they sent that right back at her for the point. Substitution from Baltic now as Belle Wilhelmsen, 5'8" senior, is going to check in here for the Bulldogs. Down 15-7 in the second set. Libro Krantz serving for the Fighting Cougars. Overpass down for the point for the Fighting Cougars. Across into the waiting arms of McCormick, who put it away for the kill. Now 16-7. McCook Central Montrose leads. Krantz serves, and Krantz, that one went up, hit the ceiling, and across, and Baltic will get the point. That's some concentration when it comes off that ceiling like that.
They'll have to readjust the theater lights after that hit.
Yeah. And that'll put Wilhelmsen back to serve for Baltic. Down 16-8 here in set number 2. And we have a whistle.
Illegal alignment.
Illegal alignment on Baltic. Coach wants to come over and see what was wrong there.
This one may be reversed. Yep, we're going to check at the table.
Yeah, Coach is pretty confident they've got it right. Official goes over to check. He's like, yeah, you're right. My bad.
Replay.
And if you're Wilhelmsen, take a deep breath here and get this serve across after a long break. Standing and waiting around. 16-8. And the serve. And it's looking long. And it's right on the line. Right on the line. It'll be an ace for Wilhelmsen. And Krantz backs up another step to cover that back line a little better here. 16-9. Show overhand miss hit this time. And it'll be a point for MCM. 17-9. Fighting Cougars get the side out. McCormick drops back to serve for McCook Central Montrose. Up by 8. 8. Here's the serve. Passed up. And free ball across. Set down the middle. Nice hit by McGregor through the block attempt. Another kill for the senior middle hitter. And a substitution for Baltic now as it's 18-9.
Probably Coach Kantz wants to save that last time out.
I don't think he wants to use it here, but
may need to.
They need a big run. Baltic back set and just dumped across. That was great placement by Tebeldal to put that one down. And Baltic down 8 has the serve and needs a run here from the service line by Tebeldal. Serve across, overpass, and into the net. Now hit down and long by MCM. And a point again for the Bulldogs. It's 18-11. Tebeldal serving. Serves it across. Play to the outside. Shoot set by Schmidt. Blocked back. Pulse. Shoot set across. Set up and down. Hit from Van Regenmorter will be a kill. And it's now a 6-point lead for the Fighting Cougars at 18-2. One more point from Baltic. Suddenly it may be Coach Vanderwoody taking the timeout. Here's the serve. Short one, but passed up cleanly. Hit across. McGregor. Oh. I'm not sure if she got that on the way down or kind of off the side after it hit the ground, but that was a great attempt by Tebeldal there. And she subs out now, replaced by Berg for Baltic. 19-12. McCook Central Montrose with the lead as McCormick will serve.
Out.
And it's out. And it's a 19-13 score now. As Baltic, Braylee Brees back to serve for the Bulldogs. Serve across, set outside for Pulse. Pulse hit is down. Just off the hands of Brees. As Teveldal comes back in and replaces Berg. McCook Central Montrose up by 7 now, 20-13 as McGregor serves. Passed up, Teveldal. Back sets, hit down Van Regenmorter, but dug out. Now shoots it across. Dive by Kennedy, kept it alive. To the front of the net, Kroll hits it across. Through the block attempt. There's MCM on the other side. Long hit by Schmidt. And the Bulldogs get the point. 20-14. Trying to figure out who's subbing in there here for Baltic. There are a few players that were not subbing in that first set that are coming in and out now, and they're just trying to make sure everybody's coming in for the right person. Kennedy back to serve, short, but it's across, overpass, and hit down for the kill by Dobbins. Baltic's on the comeback trail here, down 5. We're going to get a timeout for the Fighting Cougars, 20-15. MCM leads the second set, but takes a timeout to stop a Baltic run. We'll take a timeout too, back in 30 seconds on KJAM.
The Security State Bank in Montrose offers complete banking and insurance services that you'd expect from a larger bank, but with the friendliness that you can only get from a small town bank. The friendly faces at Security State Bank are there to serve your complete banking needs, whether it's checking or savings, insurance, or just solid financial advice. The staff at Security State Bank in Montrose wants to wish the McCook Central Montrose Fighting Cougars the best of luck this season. The Security State Bank in Montrose, member FDIC.
We are back here in Baltic. Baltic student section is fired up. For that matter, they're getting the MCM fans fired up here tonight. 20-15 is the score in the second set. Baltic took the first. MCM has the 5-point lead here in set 2. Madison Kennedy, the libero, back to serve for Baltic following the timeout. Serves a good one across. Set outside for Pulse. Played up by the Bulldogs to the outside. Here's the hit from Kroll through the block attempt. Back over. And then back by MCM. What a play that was by Vanderwoody. Looked like Dobbins was going to go up and knock that across. She barely hit it, and Vanderwoody sent it right back. And down for the point now, 21-15. McCook Central Montrose leads. And MCM back to serve. Subbing in is Lauk, serving for the Fighting Cougars. 4 points away from a set 2 victory. Here's a serve. Baltic plays it up. Teveldal sets near side. Big hit by Dobbins and in for the kill. 21-16 now. Baltic back down by 5. Wendland, senior defensive specialist and setter, comes in to serve here. Short serve just across the net. And it'll be the libero Krantz sending it across. Back set for Teveldal. Laid up by Krantz on one hand. Baltic, nice job digging that one out. And shoots that across, then blocked right back, then sent back over to MCM side. Here comes the hit from Pulse. Baltic covers to the middle. Hit across and long on the hit by Dobbins. And it's now 22-16, McCook Central Montrose. As Pulse will serve for the Fighting Cougars. Serve across. Passed up. Wendland sets. Blocked back by MCM. Baltic, free ball across. Back set for Schmidt. Tipped at the net. And it'll go off the hands of the diving Teveldal and out of play. And MCM now with a 22-16 lead. 23-16 lead, pardon me. Serve coming from Pulse. Baltic sets right down the middle. Dobbins played up by MCM. Here's the hit from Vanderwoody, tipped and then played by the Bulldogs. And pass just short, but across by Van Regenmotor. Now set outside. Here's the hit from McGregor, played up. And to the middle, Dobbins again, tips it across. Set up for Vanderwoody. Vanderwoody hit it off the ribbon, but over to the Bulldog side. Now set for Kroll. Blocked back and down by Vanderwoody. And MCM now a point away from tying this match at a set apiece. It's 24-16. McCook Central Montrose as Pulse will serve. Serves it lightly, just got that one across. Shoots set over by Baltic. Krantz passes up. Set back row Pulse. Hit is across. Set short Dobbins. Tips it across. Nice coverage by the Fighting Cougars. Tipped over and then blocked back, but off the ribbon. Or the antenna, I should say. Off the hands of Dobbins. And a point for MCM, and that'll do it here in the second set. 25-16. McCook Central Montrose takes set number 2. Grabbed control kind of early on in that one, and really Baltic a couple decent comebacks, but I don't think after it got to a 5-point lead that they ever cut it to anything under that.
Right, we were tied at 4, and then from that point on, they stepped out, and like you said, Matt, once they got that control, it was interesting to see how the momentum shifted in that set, and the Bulldogs were just never able to quite regain that momentum or get the score closed up, because it quickly went from ties at 4 out to a 5-9 advantage for the Fighting Cougars.
So we'll see how the things respond here in the third set for the Fighting Cougars. They're trying to keep the momentum rolling here. Baltic trying to get back to a one-set advantage. We're tied at 1 after 2 sets. We'll be back after a 1-minute timeout on Jammin' Country FM 103.
At Cenex, we're more than your gas station. We're your neighbor. We've got soup when you're under the weather and treats when you're over the moon. We've got fuel when you've got places to go. And most of all, we've got a big heart when it comes to supporting this community, because it's our community too.
F&M Co-op Oil is a proud supporter of our community activities. For service for your vehicle, fuel, propane, and premium Cenex lubricants, see the professionals at F&M Co-op Oil. Plus, they're your tire headquarters, from the smallest cars to the biggest tractors. F&M Co-op Oil, West Highway 34 in Madison.
MDL Madison has all your beverage needs. Pull up to the drive-thru window. We are always greeted with a smile. MDL has a large selection of fountain, bottle, and canned beverages, plus snacks, convenience store items, and gas pumps to top off your tank. MDL in Madison is open every morning at 5. Make sure to like MDL on Facebook to see more cheap prices every day, because discount is their middle name. MDL is where customers always go.
You love MDL. You love MDL. You love MDL.
Welcome back to Baltic. We've got at least a couple of sets before this one goes final, but a few other finals around the state tonight. Class B, Warner, Chester area, Kadoka area, Burke have all won. Woolsey Wessington defeated Oldham Ramona today in Class B. Winner has won in Class A. Hamlin has got a lead on Flander of 2-0 right now, but a few other ones that could be going final here a little bit later tonight. This one, going to need at least 2 more sets before we have a winner.
Very definitely. We'll see if the home court advantage will come to the Baltic Bulldogs. Nice job by the Fighting Cougars of MCM to reverse that momentum that got started in that first set. 26-24 first set. That was a Bulldog win. 25-16. Fighting Cougars out of McCook Central Montrose win that second set. Teams don't rotate because of COVID. We used to rotate. We don't do that anymore.
It's a change that I like. I like the coach always kind of being on their side.
Yes. So
not having to move.
First serve is across by Evan and blocked by the Cougars, but down on their side gives the Bulldogs the first point. They have scored the first point each set. We'll see if that has anything. Next up is Bailey Tevedal, and she serves out. So we have a tie again at 1. Back with the serve is Michaela McCormick. She's a 5'9" outside hitter, senior. Ball up, set in there by Tevdal, taken along the top of the net by Wetzel. Out of the backcourt, taken over that time by McCormick for the Fighting Cougars. A little shoot set in there by Wetzel. Krantz, the libero, fires it over. Out of the back and up, trying to get it was Wetzel, and it goes into the net. So the Fighting Cougars take the lead at 2-1. And that is back serving again, Michaela McCormick. She's one of those who uses the full court on the serve, brings it over, set into the middle, taken off of the block in the middle, set in there by McGregor, was the hit by Van Regenmorter, and it's 2-2 tied, set number 3. Each team has one set to their credit. Ball taken over in there by Wetzel. On the serve, blocked at the net. Up was the double block set by Van Regenmorter and Maya Fredrickson. So 3-2 Baltic lead. Still at the service line is Tevenol. Her serve goes over. Up. Out of the backcourt, hit hard by McCormick. Bulldog set left side, taken over by Kroll. Into the middle, blocked. Was that hit by Van Regenmorter? Blocks it. Partially touched. Van Regenmorter with the pass. And out of the backcourt, blocked in there by McGregor. And Kroll, Randy Pulse brings it down. Trying to keep it in play was Danica Wetzel. We're tied at 3 in set number 3.
Seen a lot of long rallies in this match.
And Taya McGregor, senior, 6'2", in the backcourt. Hits the top of the net, keeps it in play. Left side hit over by Kroll. And ball back down. That'll be, what do we have? A net violation on the Fighting Cougars. Gives the Bulldogs the point. Saw the ball come back down on the Bulldog side.
Bailed them out a little bit there with that.
So the libero, Madison Kennedy, back with the serve for the Bulldogs. It's a deep serve brought up in there by Krantz. Krantz overpasses it. And Alexa Dobbins says, I like that. Hammers back the overpass for the kill. 5-3, Bulldog advantage. Kennedy, the libero, with another serve. Deep, brought up by Krantz. Set. That's Pulse. Does a beautiful job there. Picks up the kill. And so it is 5 for the Bulldogs hosting, 4 for the visiting Cougars of McCook Central Montrose. And back serving for the Fighting Cougars is Maddie Lauk. She's a sophomore. She's the setter. Gets the signal, delivers the serve. Passed up, set, and shoots that over in there by Kroll. Set to the middle by Vanderwoody. Almost takes 3 Bulldogs down with one hit. Quite a kill in there for the junior Vanderwoody, and we're tied at 5. 4th time we're tied. This is Lauk again with the serve. Overpass, and Bulldogs not able to come with that overpass and do anything with it. So first lead now for the Fighting Cougars in this third set, 6-5. Served by Lauk, brawl up, set in there by Tivdal, and ball goes out, but
they are going to rule a touch.
They are going to
came
rule
from the chair there.
So 6s we're tied at, 5th tie, and back serving at 6, number 6, J.C. Wendland, the senior, plays the setter, 5-2, delivers the serve across. Ball is up, Lauk sets, into the middle, that's Vanderwoody bringing it across. Left side for the Bulldogs, long hit by Kroll, and the Fighting Cougars have it fall on their side of the net. So 7-6 Bulldog advantage. That keeps the senior Wendland at the service line. Nice jump serve approach brought up by Kranz. And we're going to have an illegal hit on the center. Not much Lauk could do on that other than to scrape it back away, but she's called for the illegal hit. 8-6, Bulldog advantage. Next serve across in there is good. Back set, and that was Pulse this time, hitting from the right side off the double block of the Bulldogs. 8 for the Bulldogs, 7 now for the Fighting Cougars. They have the serve and the side out. That's Brandy Pulse with the serve. Set to the middle. Shoot set over eventually by Tiefdahl. Ball up and picking up the kill from that right side is the junior Abby Wagner, right side hitter. And we're tied at 8s. 6 apiece, or 6 ties, 8 apiece in this. The third set, 1 set apiece, is our match score. Brandy Pulse with the serve. Ball is up. Set into the middle. Blocked back by Vanderwoody was the hit of Dobbins. Free balled over by the Bulldogs. Ball up. Set in there by Wendland. And down. Peyton Krull, I'm not sure what tapping the head means.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Every time she gets a kill, they do it though. So I'm not.
So it works. So 9-8 Bulldog lead, and back with the serve is Peyton Krull with after the head toss. Ball is up. Oh, saved nicely by the Bulldogs. Eventually with the hit over by Tiefdahl, and miss hit off the set. That was Wagner coming, and so the Bulldogs up 10-8, set number 3. Each team has won 1 set. Here comes the serve across by Krull. Set, that's to the left side. Taken over and down by McCormick. Unable to keep that in play were the Bulldogs. So 10-9 Baltic lead. Rotation on the side out goes to the Fighting Cougars, and it's Aubrey Krantz with the serve. Their libero brings it up. Set in there by Wendland. Taken into the block and out. Point for the Bulldogs. That was Tiefdahl. So 11 for Baltic, 9 for McCook Central Montrose. And here comes the serve from Dobbins. Serve is up. Set. Tipped over from the middle by McGregor. Kept in play and down onto the McCook Central side. 12-9. Bulldogs up in this third set. And it's Alex Dobbins with the serve. And she goes long. 12-10 service error. Substitution, the libero in. Madison Kennedy for the Bulldogs. Replaces Dobbins. Back with the serve now for the Fighting Cougars is even. She'll play that setter position now. Comes across. Ball is up. Set by Wendland. Up off of the block was the kill by Van Riggenmorter. Block was there, but it goes off of there out of bounds. So 13 for the Bulldogs, 10 for the Fighting Cougars. Another serve by Tiefdahl. Up, even sets, and nice hit, but out of bounds from that middle was McGregor's hit. Had to be close.
Yeah, I thought it was real close being out of bounds, and McCook thought it was touched.
14-10, ball up, set left side, eventually free balled over out of the backcourt by Pulse. Bulldogs have it back now onto the Fighting Cougars side. Nice hit down along the net by McCormick. Out of the backcourt, going long, was the hit by Krull, and so that'll give the side out and the point to the Fighting Cougars. And back with the serve now is Michaela McCormick, a senior. Ball up and overpassed, played by the Fighting Cougars and free balled over by Schmidt. Left side hit, goes along the net and rolls down for Danica Wetzel, and a point for the Bulldogs 15-11. Coach Kim Vanderwood, he says, we better talk about this. So let's take a 30-second break back on Jammin' Country 103. Back in 30.
At McCook Therapy and Wellness, their mission is moving you to wellness by combining rehabilitation with their fitness and wellness facility. Their primary purpose is to help you recover or retain the functionality you're accustomed to by using many different services, including occupational, physical, and speech therapy, pain management, dry needling, and more. They also have Fitness on Demand, a state-of-the-art fitness program. With their experienced therapists and personnel on staff, they can help with any therapy and fitness questions or concerns. Move to wellness today by calling McCook Therapy and Wellness at 425-3303.
And welcome back to Baltic High School Region 3A Volleyball Semifinals. Advances the winner tonight to the Sodak 16. We're tied one set apiece. We're in set number 3. Baltic leads 15-11, and it's a serve across by Wetzel. Ball shoots set over, back into the backcourt. Wetzel, free ball back into the Fighting Cougars court. Set left side, hammered hard, was the hit by Schmidt. Again, pleading for the touch, but there was none. So 5-point advantage now for the Bulldogs of Baltic. Serve comes over, set. They're going to the left side for Pulse. And she is blocked at the net, out of the middle, and what a kill in there. That was McGregor, picks up the point and the side out for the Fighting Cougars, and that rotates Taya McGregor to the backcourt with the serve. Approaches and miss serves, giving the point to the Bulldogs, 17-12. Back serving now, Madison Kennedy for the home Bulldogs of Baltic. Her serve is brought across, set into the middle, tapped across by Vanderwoody. Left hand hit, left side, hits the basket, and kept in play by McCook Central. What a defensive effort. And another great effort, keeps the ball in play. And it goes out of bounds eventually. Just unbelievable defensive efforts to keep that in play. But eventually it lands in the first referee's stand, and a point for the Baltic Bulldogs. 18-12, and back continuing to serve is Kennedy, their libero. Passed up, set left side to Pulse. And we have a net violation on the Bulldogs. Dobbins in the net. Point and side out, 18-13. Now the libero for the Fighting Cougars will serve. Nope, she won't either. Substitutions, Maddie Lauk comes in and serves, as does Abby Wagner. So here comes Lauk's serve, passed up by Kennedy, the libero, and free balled over by Witzel. Set, outside, that's Pulse. They're setting the block was Fredrickson and Dobbins. And so it's 19-13. Substitution now. J.C. Wendland comes in. She replaces Maya Fredrickson, and serve is good. Set to the middle for, yes, the serve is set, and Vanderwoody brings it right at the feet of the lines judge for a point for the Fighting Cougars. 19-14. Back serving now for the Cougars is Pulse. Her serve is up. Set right side by taken over by Crawl. And ball brought back down by the Fighting Cougars. 19-15. Pulse continuing at the service line. Her serve brought up. Set. Left side. Blocked back. Double block set up there by Wagner and Vanderwoody. 19-16. Coach Matt Kuntz takes his first time out. So let's step aside for 30 seconds. back in 30.
When looking for parts or accessories for your vehicle, bring it to Sturdivant's Auto Parts. Sturdivant's Auto Parts has the parts and accessories you need to keep your vehicle running smoothly year-round. Their inventory ranges from batteries, wiper blades, oil filters, tow ropes, floor mats, jumper cables, gauges, jacks, spark plugs, tools, belts, you name it, they have it. With a wide inventory that's stocked with the most trusted brands in the industry, you can trust the professionals at Sturdivant's Auto Parts to get you the right part the first time.
And welcome back to Baltic. It's Region 3A volleyball. We're tied 1 set apiece. Baltic Bulldogs lead this third set, 19-16. And we're have the Fighting Cougars of MCM with the serve. And that's Brandy Pulse. Ball is up, set. Taken over eventually by Dobbins. Free ball back quickly by the Cougars. Set left side, brought up on the Cougars. And left-hand set, taken over by McCook Central. Kept in play by Krantz. Here we go. Baltic sets theirs. Blocked, but out of bounds. The block was set by Vanderwoody, and Wagner gives the 20th point. 16 for McCook Central Montrose, side out. Serve is across by Kroll. McCook Central Montrose takes it over on the left hand. Wagner. Left, little shoot set. Nice blocks there by Abby Wagner, the junior. Brings it back onto the Bulldog side. So 2017, we go to 25. Now it's Abry Kranz, the libero, with the serve. Popped up and shoot set deep in there by Tivdal. Set to the middle for the hit by McGregor, but there to block was Alexa Dobbins. That's 5'8" against 6'2". So 21-17. Bulldogs have the serve. Back, it's Dobbins' serve. Passed up. They come to the middle, and we're going to have a double hit. No, a net violation. A net violation, 22-17. And timeout, second timeout, Coach Kim Vanderwoody of McCook Central. So on Jammin' Country 103.1, let's take a 30-second break.
Kinsley Funeral Home is family-owned for nearly 80 years, serving the Madison, Salem, Hartford, and surrounding areas. Offering funeral, cremation, and traditional services, Andy and Laura of Kinsley Funeral Home, Hartford Chapel in Hartford, Kinsley Funeral Home in Salem, and Kinsley Funeral Home in Madison are always there to help you with any planning or questions you may have. Without cost or obligation, Andy and Laura can provide facts about pre-need funeral planning. Kinsley Funeral Home in Madison, Salem, and Hartford.
And welcome back to the Baltic High School gym. High school athletics at its best, Matt.
It is. I mean, this has been a fantastic contest. Even in this set, where it seems like Baltic's trying to run away, but McCook just won't let it happen.
22-17. Here's the serve across by Dobbins. Rolls the top of the net. McCook Central handles it well. Free balled over eventually by Pauls. Set to the middle. Emma Van Riggemorter, the senior at 5'11", picks up the 23rd point of the Baltic Bulldogs. McCook Central out of timeouts. McCook Central Montrose. Dobbins at the service line. One of the juniors on this team, and ball goes long. That's a point and a side out. So 23-18, back with the serve now. Brianna Even. She will be the setter. 3 deep receivers for the Bulldogs. Passed up in there by Kennedy and eventually taken over by Tivdal. Set to the outside. Hammered from that left side. Beautiful set and down with the kill. McCormick, 23-19. Back again with the serve is Even. She's a right-handed server. Kennedy brings it right up, set, and passed over by Van Regenmorter. That was Witzel, I'm sorry. Witzel brings it down. Set point at 24-19. Comes the ball back for the serve. Serve across by Tivdal, up. They set to the middle, taken out of there by McGregor. Left side, over was the hit by Witzel. Back to the left side by Schmidt. Into the middle, and down with the kill was Taya McGregor, the 6'2 senior. 24-20.
Still a chance for MCM, but you got to be perfect now.
And back with the serve. It's in. Up, set, taken over in there by Van Regenmorter. Back hard was McGregor. Into the back court. And the Baltic Bulldogs win the third set, 25-20. So, Matt, we had a 26-24, what I would consider a dominant second set, definitely by McCook Central Montrose, 25-16, and back to almost a barn burner, 25-20.
Yeah, the thing with that second set is McCook had that one long run. They built up, an 8-point lead or whatever it was. And then it was kind of back and forth after that. It just, Baltic couldn't get back over the hump of that. These two teams really do seem evenly matched. Even though when MCM is rolling, when they're on the attack, they look like they're kind of a superior team, but this Baltic team just is scrappy, and they come back and they put pressure and they put pressure and they put pressure, and almost sometimes they're getting kills or waiting for you to make a mistake. Some
of those rallies were just unbelievable. Those balls should have been down.
Yeah.
But they were sacrificing their body. It's interesting from our vantage point, you can see how hard these gals are working on the court, because they're coming in during those timeouts just really almost exhausted, and we still have at least one, if not two more sets to go.
Baltic will have the serve when we come back with set number 4. We're back after a 1-minute break on KJAM.
Need a little help cleaning up the mess no matter what your vehicle has run into or what has run into you? Salem Body Shop can fix you up again good as new. They do the job from start to finish, and that includes handling the insurance work for you. Salem Body Shop will return your vehicle back to its pre-damaged condition. Salem Body Shop, they'll help you look like new. Salem Body Shop, 425-2166. Your dreams are too big to fail. First Dakota National Bank in Salem stands ready to help hold you accountable for your dreams. If the quality of your future depends on the quality of support provided by your bank, call First Dakota today. They know passion, they know hard work, and they want to know you. Let First Dakota inspire you to account for your dreams. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And we're back here on Jammin' Country, FM 103, McCook Central Montrose and Baltic, Region 3A volleyball semifinals. Already one for sure upset in the region semis as Groton beat Aberdeen Roncalli today. Mobridge Pollock, Platte Geddes, Hamlin, Sioux Falls Christian, Miller, Wagner, they're all also amongst teams into the Sodak 16. And if Baltic wins one more set, they would be into the Sodak 16. They're up 2-1, and they are on to serve here against McCook Central Montrose. Short serve and a service error right off the bat for the Bulldogs as Dobbins leaves that one short, and MCM has the early lead. Brianna Even is on to serve for the Fighting Cougars. Hard serve, played up, and hit across by Teverdal. Hit back over by Kranz, the libero from MCM. Set for the middle. Van Regenmorter with a big hit, but played up by MCM. Set to the outside this time. They'll try Witzel, and Witzel will find the back line down for the kill. Close to being out, but right there, And we're tied at 1 here early on in set number 4. It'll be Teveldal to serve. And a misplay by McCormick goes into the bleachers. And a service ace for Bailey Teveldal. 2-1 lead for the Baltic Bulldogs. Teveldal, the junior, serving again. And another miss hit off the hands of McCormick and into the stands. And the problem,
Where do you think this next serve is going to go?
because that's the problem with volleyball. You know right where it's going. If you're McCormick, you just got to be ready. Here it comes. Right at her. Good clean pass this time for the most part. Played down the middle and a big hit by McGregor. And that's a kill for the Fighting Cougars. Stops that mini Baltic run. And it's a 3-2 Bulldog lead. But a side out has McCormick back to serve for McCook Central Montrose. McCormick, the right-hander, serves it away. Passed up near the net. Put right back down by McGregor. It was an overpass. And McGregor, the big 6'2 middle hitter, was there to put it away. McCormick back to serve. We're knotted up at 3 here, fourth set. Here's the serve. Long. Put it right on that back line. Good call, I think, by the line judge that time. That ball really dove down at the last minute. Landed right on the white. And it's a 4-3 lead after that McCook Central Montrose ace. McCormick serves, and she'll get another ace. This one clips the net, just barely comes across and drops down. So back-to-back aces by the skin of McCormick's teeth. Go. Served by McCook Central, 5-3 they lead. Here's the hit across by Wetzel. Play back outside, Pulse through the double block attempt and down for the kill.
Momentum, Matt.
Yep. Big swing of it here. McCook Central Montrose up by 3 now, 6-3 in the fourth set. Again, Baltic leads it 2-1. McCormick on to serve. Set to the middle. Van Regenmoorder will put an end to that emphatically with that hit. Gets the side out for the Baltic Bulldogs. 6-4 MCM leads. Bulldogs back to serve. Serve across by Wetzel. Krantz plays it up. Set to the outside for Pulse. Blocked back, but the Fighting Cougars are there. Schmidt back pedals. Got it through a block attempt by Van Regenmoorder and down for a kill. 7-4 is the Fighting Cougar advantage here as McGregor will go back to serve. Strong serve played by Kennedy. The libero, but then nobody came in for Baltic. Teveldal late coming over. She dove, couldn't get there, and Baltic wants a timeout. 8-4 is the lead for the Fighting Cougars in set number 4, and we're back after a 30-second break on KJAM.
At Cenex, we're more than your gas station. We're your neighbor. We've got soup when you're under the weather and treats when you're over the moon. We've got fuel when you've got places to go. And most of all, we've got a big heart when it comes to supporting this community, because it's our community too.
F&M Co-op Oil is a proud supporter of our community activities. For service for your vehicle, fuel, propane, and premium Cenex lubricants, see the professionals at F&M Co-op Oil. Plus, they're your tire headquarters from the smallest cars to the biggest tractors. F&M Co-op Oil, West Highway 34 in Madison.
Back here in Baltic as McCook Central Montrose leads at 8-4. They serve after the Baltic timeout. Shoot set over by the Bulldogs. And then it's Pulse. She saw the opening on the left far side of the court. A little shoot set of her own back over into that corner. And another point for the Fighting Cougars. 9-4 is the lead for McCook Central Montrose. McGregor is back to serve. Sends it away. Nearly an ace, but a dive by Kennedy keeps it alive. Hit across by Baltic. Set far side near side rather. Schmidt tipped in on a play. And it's now a 6-point lead for McCook Central Montrose. 10-4 here in the fourth set. Baltic won sets 1 and 3. McCook Central dominated set 2. They're trying to dominate set 4. Here's the serve by McGregor. Played high up near the ceiling. Free ball coming across. Just got over the net. And hit back over by McCook Central Montrose. Set for Van Regemoter. Blocked back down by Vanderwoody. And the point to the Fighting Cougars. 11-4 is the MCM lead now. Trying to force a fifth set. McGregor is back to serve. Kennedy didn't quite get the pass all the way up, but it's hit across by Kroll. Up to the front of the net. Shoot set over by Schmidt for MCM. Set for Kroll, far side. Baltic through the block attempt to Vanderwoody and down. And Baltic stops the run momentarily as Dobbins checks back in. 11-5, the MCM lead. And Kennedy, the libero, serving for the Baltic Bulldogs. Serve over. Set. Middle. Vanderwoody. Oh, miss hit. Missed that one by about 5 feet on the left side. She knew it right away. Doesn't do that often.
She knew what she wanted to do.
11-6 is the MCM lead. Here's another Baltic serve. Set far side. Pulse this time. Goes down the line, but she missed it wide. And here comes Baltic. 3 points in a row. It's 11-7 now. As Madison Kennedy serving again. The libero sends the right-handed serve across. Played up near the net. Hit over Vanderwoody. Nope, didn't get it across. That's 4. 4 hits on MCM, and the Bulldogs continue to come back. And, in fact, Coach Kim Vanderwoody will take it for timeout. 11-8 is the MCM lead, but Baltic's coming back. We have a timeout, so we pause as well. Back in 30 seconds on KJAM.
Southeastern Electric Cooperative is owned by those they serve and are proud supporters of Fighting Cougars athletics. As a member-owned cooperative, Southeastern Electric Cooperative is dedicated to providing its member owners with the most reliable electricity at the lowest possible price. Southeastern Electric Cooperative Incorporated, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, is member-focused and member-driven. Learn more about Southeastern Electric Cooperative by visiting southeasternelectric.com.
Welcome back to Baltic MDL broadcast booth. 11-8 is the lead here for the McCook Central Montrose Fighting Cougars in the fourth set. But Baltic's coming back on them. Down just 3 now, 11-8, as Kennedy continues from the service line following the Fighting Cougar timeout. Set near side Schmidt, big hit, dug out cleanly, and then hit across Teveldal, a little long. Oh, but Krantz plays it. It was going out. Back over by McCormick. Set, far side for Kroll. She punches it across and down. McCook needed to let one go. They couldn't do it. And now it's a 2-point advantage for the Fighting Cougars, 11-9, as Kennedy serves yet again. Nice serve, angled over to the left side. Set now for Paul. Shoots set across. Saved by Baltic. And passed over. Krantz. Set. Vanderwoody tipped at the net. And it'll be sent up wide of the antenna. And finally, MCM stops that Baltic run. They preserved their lead. It's McCook Central Montrose 12, Baltic 9. As the Fighting Cougars sub Maddie Lauk in to serve here. Baltic got back into the set with that rally. Lauk serving for MCM. Kennedy, nice dig out. Free ball coming, and it's across. Krantz is there. Set, middle. Vanderwoody hit through and up for Baltic. Outside, played across. Dive by McCook Central, overpass. Ball played up again on the MCM side. Here comes a hit from McCormick. Baltic, near side for Kroll. Shoots that over. Krantz right there. Set, far side. Pulse coming. Here's a save, though, by Witzel. Kroll hits it across again. Block back. Still on the Baltic side. Kroll tries once more. Shoots it over the double block. Set, near side. Vanderwoody tipped at the net, and Witzel plays it up. Set for Kroll again. Down! No, it wasn't down. Or was it? It was. I thought maybe Krantz pancaked that.
Whoa.
But just barely down in front of her on the hit from Kroll and a long rally. That it was definitely Baltic on the attack that time. They're down 2. They get the side out, 12-10. Here's the serve. Played up and hit across McCormick. Oh, Baltic wasn't expecting that one. At least Kroll wasn't. Hit back over Van Regenmorter. Bunch back over by MCM. Kennedy passes it high in the air. Running in and passed over Wetzel. MCM back sets it for Wagner, and she puts it down with the left hand for the kill. MCM back up by 3, 13-10. As back to serve will be Pulse here for the Fighting Cougars. They've got their big outside hitter in the back now. Pulse serves it across. Passed up, set Dobbins. Dobbins, was it tipped? No, that's out.
It was.
No, it was tipped. It was tipped. They're going to give a tip to Baltic. I thought it was tipped initially. Was kind of waiting for a signal there.
Second referee spotted it right at the net.
It's one of those where you'd like to have the look at a good replay on it, but to my eye, it looked tipped right away. Point to the Baltic Bulldogs. They serve nearly an ace, but they are going to get him for a double hit. I thought McCook was going to save that. It was a great play by Krantz. But now Baltic down just a point, 13-12. Serve. Krantz passes up near the net and put down by.
No, that's going
an
to
illegal hit.
Back row attacker.
By
McCook Central.
By McCook Central, okay. So Baltic gets the point regardless, and we are all tied at 13. And Baltic will serve, but not before we get a timeout. Timeout MCM, we're tied at 13. And we'll be back in 30 seconds on Jammin' Country FM 103.
There's nothing like watching the sun rise over your fields, the smell of hope in the air. At Mustang Seeds, we're ready to help you plan for the next planting season and committed to boosting your yields and increasing your profitability with quality seed genetics customized to your farm ground and your way of farming. Lock in preseason cash discounts, rewards, and competitive pricing by contacting your local Mustang DSM or dealer. Mustang Seeds, plant with pride.
McCook Central Montrose at one point had a 7-point advantage here in this fourth set. 11-4. It's now 13-13. And Baltic is back to serve. Peyton Kroll serving it for the Bulldogs. Krantz passes up. Set. Lauk, far side hit by McCormick. Baltic scrambles and gets it across. Set middle, Vanderwoody this time. Set was a little off. Coming in was Dobbins, hit it over. Now back on the MCM side. Sprawling out was Pulse to save one. Hit Vanderwoody, touched him down. And a point for the Fighting Cougars. 14-13 here in the fourth. Again, Baltic's up 2-1. MCM trying to force a fifth set. Aubrey Krantz, the libero, serves long, and it will tie it back up at 14 here in the fourth. Winner moves on to the SODAC 16 next week. Tied at 14 here in the fourth set, and number 4, Dobbins serving for the Bulldogs. Set, a little behind the intended target of McGregor, but she got it across. Now hit over by Van Regenmorter, and MCM can't get it controlled. Goes off the net and down. And a point for Baltic, 15-14. Dobbins to serve again here for the Bulldogs. Her serve right to the libero, Krantz. Set far side, hit McCormick. Near side for Baltic now. Witzel with the hit long. And it's MCM back out by a point.
No, we're tied
15-15. Tied at 15. And even. will serve for the Fighting Cougars. Set up down the middle, hit over by Wetzel. Sprawl by McCook Central to get it across. Their hit then tipped and down to the Baltic side. Wetzel couldn't block it back across the net. It goes off her hands and in front of a diving Krull. And it's now a 1-point McCook Central lead again, 16-15. Even serve. Passed up, set back for Teverdal and blocked through. And down, a point for the Bulldogs to tie it back up again at 16 apiece.
6th tie this set.
It'll be Teverdal moving back to serve. Jump serve from the right side, angles it over to the left. Set outside for Schmidt, and her hit is long. No touch by Baltic. And it's a 1-point Bulldog lead again, 17-16. Teverdal with the serve. Pass, middle, hit, blocked back down. McCook stays with it. 50-50 ball up, then blocked back by Baltic. Here's McCook again. They get it across. Right back on the MCM side off one hit for the Bulldogs. Tipped over by McGregor. Near side, hit by Dobbins. Krantz is there for the Fighting Cougars. Outside, McCormick, and it's blocked back down. Another Bulldog point. They lead it by 2, 18-16, getting to the late stages here of set number 4.
And no timeouts left for McCook Central, Montrose.
18-16, here's the serve from the Bulldogs. Back set for McCormick. Tipped down on the Baltic side. Diving for it was Teverdal, but couldn't get there in time as it goes into the stands. And MCM gets a much-needed side out. Michaela McCormick will serve. Down a point, 18-17 here in the 4th. Her serve is across. Passed up near the net. Dumped right back down by Taya McGregor. And we're tied at 18 here in the 4th set. McCormick to serve again. Her serve played up by Kennedy. Teverdal sets. Vanderwoody blocked back. Kennedy's there. Teverdal again outside for Wetzel this time. Wetzel, somehow kept alive by the Fighting Cougars. What a play to get that one across. Wetzel again, shoot set over. MCM is there. Pulse on the second hit. Tries a shoot set to the corner. Kennedy covers. Back row hit across by the Bulldogs. Set. Pulse. Big spiking down. Pulse with the kill. And the Fighting Cougars go up by a point, 19-18. Serving will be McCormick. Serve is across. Little confusion by Baltic, who was going to get it. They're still with it. Free ball is over. And nearly got him a point. Oh, and a nice job by McCook. They get it across. Set. Down the middle. Van Regenmotor blocked back down by McGregor. Another point for MCM. It's 20-18. Fighting Cougars on top. Baltic will use a timeout. So we'll take a timeout as well. We're back in 30 seconds on Jammin' Country 103.
Trust your farming operation with the locally owned and operated Farmers Ag Center of Madison. With their state-of-the-art facility, Farmers Ag Center offers trusted advice when it comes to fertilizer, seed, and crop protection products. Area producers can expect accurate and timely advice, including efficient delivery and application of products during all seasons. Locally owned and operated Farmers Ag Center of Madison. The leaders in the field, the leaders in customer service, proud to serve area farmers and proud to support area communities.
Last Tuesday night in Montrose, we were about the last volleyball match in the state that got done in that 5-set win for MCM over Madison. We might be the last one in the state to get done tonight.
Well, we got some West River, maybe.
Yeah.
We can hold out hope, Matt.
We're in the 4th set. MCM's up 20-18 in the 4th. If they win the set, we go to a 5th. Here's the serve from McCormick following the Baltic timeout. And Baltic free ball sent across. Krantz passed up. Here's Pulse to the hit. Played by Baltic. Set for a back row shoot set over by Kroll. Near the net, MCM. Across by McGregor. Set outside. Tip to the net, but across from Baltic. Hit back to the middle by MCM. Here comes Van Regenmorter hit across. MCM now. Back row hit for McCormick. Back set. Van Regenmorter got it over. Krantz lays it up. Shoot set across. Baltic's right there as the long rally continues. Set outside for Wetzel. Blocked back, but out of bounds. Or no, on the MCM side, pardon me.
Yep.
And it finally stops that Fighting Cougar run. 20-19. Back to serve, Danica Witzel. Serve is an ace off the hands of Krantz, and we're tied at 20. Tied at 20. Here in the fourth, Baltic 5 points away from a win. Serve from Witzel. Krantz plays it cleanly this time. Set outside, Pulse. Shoot set across. Back hit. Here's Kroll. Tried to dump it over and did. Down the middle. Big hit from McGregor. Baltic staying with it. Gets it over. Back set. Here's Schmidt this time. Blocked back and down by the Bulldogs. Van Regenmorter. Emma Van Regenmorter, the 5'11 senior, with that block. And it's a 1 point lead for Baltic now. 21-20 here in the fourth. MCM out of timeouts. Needs to get a side out and quickly. Serve across. Played up and set. Even far side. That's Pulse. Pulse got it through. Baltic still with it. Hit back over. Off the block attempt and down. And another Baltic point. They're 3 points away now. 22-20 here in the fourth. It's Danica Witzel, the sophomore. Serving again for the Bulldogs. Up 2 points in the fourth set. Serve is cross. Little confusion from MCM, but they'll get a shoot set over. Baltic set for Kroll. Hits across the double block attempt. Head to the outs, or down the middle, I should say. McGregor, but the hit by McGregor's long. And it's 23-20. Fighting Cougars, backs against the wall. Need the side out now. Can't let Baltic get to 24. Here's the Wetzel serve. Passed up outside. Here's Pulse. Blocked back at her. She keeps it alive. Down the middle, McGregor now, but it's played up, but into the stands. And MCM gets the stop they needed. It's 23-21. The Baltic with the lead, but MCM on the side out gets the serve. And it will be McGregor back to serve for McCook Central Montrose. Taya McGregor, 6'2" senior middle hitter, serves. Baltic passes up, back set. Van Regenmorter dumps it over the double block attempt and down, and Baltic's a point away. Van Regenmorter with that kill, and it's 24-21. Baltic fans are on their feet. 1 point away from the Sodak 16. Here's the serve from Kennedy. Set. Pulse. Kill. You can say set for Pulse and kill a lot as Brandy puts another one down. 24-22. Baltic still leads. MCM needs 2 points in a row at minimum.
And she's still in the front row, Pulse is.
She is. Maddie Lauk is back to serve. No room for error. Here's the serve. Kennedy plays it up. Kevadal on the second hit, got it across and dropped it in. It's a point for Baltic on the dump set by Kevadal. And Baltic is off to the Sodak 16. They win the Region 3 semifinal 3-1 over McCook Central Montrose. They avenge an early loss. And for the first time in over a month, McCook Central Montrose suffers a loss, and it'll end their season here in the Region 3A semifinals. But another fantastic match.
Just everything was left on the court with both of these teams. It was just unbelievable to see these efforts during those rallies, Matt. I mean, there were hits that should have gone down, and they were not down. They were up and kept playing and kept playing. Just a super effort by both teams.
It's a tough loss for McCook Central Montrose. They're a senior-heavy team with Aubrey Krantz Brandy Pulse, Brianna Even, Michaela McCormick, Taya McGregor, and Auburn Schmidt, all seniors on this team. They all play significant minutes for this squad, and they were hoping for an opportunity to get back to the Class A state tournament. But Baltic comes away with the win here tonight and moves on to the Sodak 16. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. Your Mustang Seeds post-game show back in 1 minute on KJAM.
There's nothing like watching the sun rise over your fields, the smell of hope in the air. At Mustang Seeds, we're ready to help you plan for the next planting season and committed to boosting your yields and increasing your profitability with quality seed genetics customized to your farm ground and your way of farming. Lock in preseason cash discounts, rewards, and competitive pricing by contacting your local Mustang DSM or dealer. Mustang Seeds, plant with pride.
At Salem Lumber, you'll find a complete line of building materials. If you're looking for items for custom homes, pole barns, cabinets, or floor coverings, make the stop at Salem Lumber. And for the winter months, Salem Lumber also carries heat and glow fireplaces. So stop into Salem Lumber today or contact Brad Krantz at 605-425-2221 or toll free 800-700-2221. Salem Lumber, a proud sponsor of McCook Central Montrose Athletics.
Welcome back to the Baltic High School gym, where it is the Baltic Bulldogs advancing on to the Sodak 16 as they claim a 3-1 set win. I thought we were going to go another one, Matt. But let's just
wouldn't shock me if we did.
It was a 3-1 set. Let's recap that. Baltic winning the first set 26-24. And then, oh my goodness, the McCook Central Montrose Fighting Cougars came out and just really dominated set number 2, 25-16. And then it was 25-20 with the Bulldogs of Baltic winning set number 3. And set number 4 had 7 ties, tied at 20. And then the Bulldogs went out and picked up their 5 points to go to 25. While the McCook Central Montrose Fighting Cougars were only able to score 2 points. Great seasons for both of these teams. One gets to continue to play next Tuesday. We don't know who, but it may be.
It's not, I don't think, going to be Sioux Falls Christian because it's, I think, Dakota Valley. Canton with the loss.
That will that should move them to Dakota Valley.
Moves them out of Sioux Falls Christian. Congratulations, here's Dakota Valley. So. Yeah, you get that and you think, oh, all right, yeah, we don't have to play Sioux Falls Christian. Oh, we get the other perennial Class A powerhouse,
right,
in Dakota Valley. But
and of course, you know, even though those teams have been ranked number 1 and number 2 in all of the polls don't take into account the seed points, which we talked about off air. But again, those seed points dictate where you're going to sit, both in the state tournament, but more importantly, who you're going to compete with on Tuesday for that Sodak 16. But both teams tonight, Matt, wow, what volleyball. It was just amazing to see how hard each one of these teams played throughout the night to eventually come with a winner, the Baltic Bulldogs. Maybe a little bit of home court advantage.
I don't think you can maybe stress that enough of what the difference was, from the last time these two teams played when it was a 3-set MCM win. They had a big crowd on hand tonight, huge student section. This place was rocking just like it was in Montrose 2 nights ago. Baltic really fed off that. There's some long rallies there. It looked like that fourth set that McCook Central was going to be able to roll them, and instead they come back. And they end up picking up that victory here, and definitely fed off the energy of the crowd in that one tonight. There were a few upsets in the region semis today. Groton area beat Aberdeen Roncalli. Aberdeen Roncalli have been the number 1 seed in Region 1. In Region 4, Elk Point Jefferson, that's just a 3-2, but they swept Canton 3-0 today. Other teams moving on to the Sodak are Elkton Lake Benton, Hamlin, Sioux Falls Christian, Dakota Valley, Wagner, Platte Geddes both won today. Miller and Mobridge Pollock won. Winner was a winner. Lakota Tech and Little Wound are still playing. And Rapid City Christian and Belfouche still won today. So that Lakota Tech Little Wound game in Region 7 and the Region 1 matchup between Redfield and Millbank, that one is just in the first set. Was a late start today. So those are the only Class A matches still going on right now. Coleman Egan and Chester area both won today. So both Coleman and Chester area are into the Sodak 16. Castlewood beat Arlington. Woolsey-Wessington beat Oldham, Ramona Rutland today for some of the other teams right in our area. And tomorrow morning we'll know the full seeds and hopefully locations tomorrow of where that Sodak 16 games will all be played.
And maybe if we're lucky, Madison will get to host one or two of those.
Often do. It's a great facility. That's part of the reason that Madison School District built that facility the way they did, was to be able to host some Sodak 16 style events, and they've been able to over the years. So we'll see how that goes. But that's going to do it for our broadcast and our broadcasting, probably, of volleyball here for the season. For those McCook Central Monroe fans who are listening to us, just a reminder that MCM football tomorrow night you will be able to hear on the air right here on Jammin' Country 103 in their 11B football semifinal tomorrow night. We will have that game right here on Jammin' Country 103. Tom, thanks for coming along with us. Good time as always.
It was, and tremendous volleyball. Kudos to both teams, and congratulations to Baltic as they move forward.
That's going to do it for our broadcast here tonight. For Tom Farrell and everyone at KJM Sports, Ian engineering the game back at the KJM studios, I'm Matt Gross. Thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your Thursday night.
Thank you for listening here on Jammin' Country FM 103 to tonight's area volleyball game of the week. For stats and highlights from tonight's match, visit AmazingMadison.com.